Ever seen 600 people hold their breath at the same time? It sounds impossible until you're standing on a parade square, so hot the air shimmers, and the only moving thing is a fly doing laps around a colonel's hat. Lieutenant Mira Solano didn't blink. The old guard said she smiled too much. The new kids said she ran the obstacle course like she hated gravity. Truth? She was just done pretending fear equals respect. Across from her, Colonel Armin Kestrel, jaw like an axe, boots so polished you could fix your hair in them. He'd spent the morning roasting her training plan like it had personally insulted his ancestors. Cute slides, Lieutenant. Did you learn those at a book club? She didn't flinch. No, sir. From the last 3 units that got results. Yeah, not subtle. And wait until you hear how this ends. It's wilder than it starts. Kestrel stepped forward, voice carrying over 600 uniforms. We don't bend tradition for trend chasers. Mira looked past him, not above him, past him, at the recruits she was trying to keep from breaking before they even began. Sweat hit the concrete. Somewhere a flag snapped. Then Kestrel said the line no one forgets. Kneel. Apologize for wasting my formation's time. Her spine went straight. The square got weirdly quiet, like the base itself wanted to eavesdrop. You know that tingle when a storm's about to hit? That. And then the whistle blew. Quick rewind. 30 minutes earlier, Mira had rolled out a new drill. Shorter rest intervals, slower breathing, no hazing, accountability up the chain. It wasn't soft. It was smarter. She tested it on her own squad. Their times dropped. Their injuries did too. You're breaking the spine of the regiment, Kestrel announced, strolling in mid-brief like he owned the sun. His shadow fell over her whiteboard. We harden, we don't coddle. Mira kept her calm. We harden by failing forward, sir, not by bleeding sideways. A couple recruits hid grins. A couple sergeants didn't. You ever feel 1,000 eyeballs try not to look interested? Kestrel upped the volume. You're forgetting who built this place. Sir, she said softly, people built this place. Not abuse. Boom. Tension level. Microwave popcorn, bag puffing. He took one step too close. If you want respect here, you earn it the same way I did. She could smell his boot polish. Citrus. They sell dominance in lemon now? Mira lifted her chin. I'm earning it now. He laughed. It wasn't nice. On your knees. Say you were wrong. She didn't move. Can't do that, sir. He looked left and right to make sure the audience was large enough. Oh, we all know what happens when someone starts performing for the crowd. He shifted his weight, the kind of shift that says, this is about to get physical. And then the sun went behind a cloud, like the sky also didn't want to see what came next. Have you ever watched an entire formation try to become furniture? 600 statues. No one breathes. No one blinks. Even the flag freezes. Kestrel smiled without warmth. Last chance, Lieutenant. Myra's heartbeat slowed in that weird way adrenaline does. Everything louder and quieter at once. She remembered Coach Arroyo from a lifetime ago, whispering over a wrestling mat. Move when they assume they own the frame. She didn't raise her hands. Didn't square up. She just let her shoulders loosen like she was tired. Sir, she said, voice even. Respect is a two-way street. I'm not stepping into oncoming traffic. His jaw ticked. The front rank shifted, tiny, guilty scrape of leather. That little sound traveled like a secret. Lieutenant, Kestrel said, kneel. I can't, she said, and because humor is a survival reflex, added, bad knees. A ripple of almost laughter. Almost. His eyes flicked at the ripple. Ego saw it, grabbed it, demanded a sacrifice. He moved. Fussed. A boot rising. Not a stomp yet. More like a lesson with the volume turned up. Not a strike. A message. But messages have a way of being returned to sender. Mira exhaled through her nose. Micro step. Angle change. Her left hand floated like a conversation, and her right drew a circle almost too small to see. She didn't fight him. She escorted him. Coach used to call it borrowing pushy energy. Like judo with paperwork. And just before leather met bone, she wasn't there anymore. Where is she? Great question. You like the answer. She was behind him. Not far. Just enough. Like he'd walked into a door someone had moved an inch. If you've never seen a colonel surprised by physics, it's art. His boot passed through empty space where her shin used to be. His center drifted forward. Gravity cleared its throat. Mira's palm kissed his elbow. Not hard. Precise. A nudge that said, "We're going this way now." His balance folded like a camp chair. There's a sound you never forget. The exact moment confidence trips. It's not a thud. It's a gasp with mass. He grabbed for her sleeve. She turned with him, guiding, not yanking, letting momentum do its unromantic job. The movement looked gentle from the edge of the square. Up close, it was a blender set to career consequences. He hit the ground on one knee, hands skidding, hat sliding like a runaway coaster. "Stay down," she whispered, not to humiliate him, to warn him. Now, Mira didn't want this. That matters. She wanted training that didn't shatter backs. She wanted recruits who slept without flinching. She wanted to still have a job by lunch. But pride is louder than warnings. He snarled and surged again. This time she stepped inside his reach. It looked like a hug if you'd never seen an armbar. Wrist, elbow, shoulder, 3 doors locked at once. Then came a sound. Not a crack. A pop. The kind of pop that empties a stadium. Silence ate the square. Then someone whispered, "Oh man." And the camera drone that always showed up late? Yeah, it was right on time. Kestrel was on the ground, clutching a forearm that suddenly didn't love him back. Mira eased off the pressure and stepped away, palms open, voice steady. "Medic." No gloating, no pose, just breath. The med team moved like they'd been waiting in the wings for this exact play. Maybe they had. "Don't touch me," he hissed at them, then winced as pain forgot to respect rank. Mira stood at parade rest, not looking at him, not looking anywhere but center horizon. If she looked down, she'd shake. If she looked at the recruits, she'd cry. What happens now? Charge her. Strip her. Make her a cautionary tale. That's one script. But reality is allergic to perfect scripts. First sound to return was flags flapping. Then boots settling. Then the quiet chorus of people asking the same question inside their skulls. Was that defiance or survival? A private in the second row swayed like he might faint. A staff sergeant quietly braced him by the elbow. Major Ranachu, who had said nothing all morning, who watched everything, took 2 steps forward. "Formation. Stand fast." Her voice wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. It had that steel-wrapped-in-tea vibe that makes people listen. Mira's throat burned. She kept her mouth closed. "Lieutenant," Chu said calmly, "you will accompany me. There's your cliffhanger. But hold that thought, because the wildest part hasn't hit yet." As medics stabilized Kestrel, a sound rolled across the square like thunder politely waiting its turn. A fist met a chest. "A salute." Not to the colonel. To Mira. It was Sergeant Dax Emery, the guy who jokes everything's above my pay grade, and then does it anyway. He didn't ask permission. He just looked at her, fist over heart, chin lifted. Another followed. Copanwen. Then Reyes. Then Hale. Then a line. Then Rose. Then a sea. The kind of wave you don't surf. You stand inside it and try not to drown. Not one cheer. No chanting. Just every boot heel clicking like a heartbeat. She didn't stop it. She didn't start it either. She watched, lips pressed thin, eyes doing math. Mira whispered, "Don't." Not to them. To the universe. Because there's a line between solidarity and mutiny, and the world loves it when you toe paint that line. Still, the wave didn't roar. It settled. It became respect. The quiet kind. The kind that doesn't need a microphone. Kestrel saw it from the gurney. Rage, shock, fear. People like to pretend those live in different neighborhoods. They don't. They all share a fence. He tried to sit up. Stand down. Pain cut the sentence. Chu looked at Mira. Inside. Now. Mira nodded once and followed. Ever walked into an office knowing 3 different futures are arguing over who gets custody of you? That. Chu's office smelled like paper and peppermint. The AC hummed like it had opinions. "Shut the door," Chu said. Mira did. Her hands finally shook. She tucked them behind her back like disobedient puppies. "Tell me," Chu said, "what happened out there?" Mira told her. No extra flair. No heroic glow. Just angles and timing and how she tried twice to de-escalate. I didn't want to hurt him. Chu raised an eyebrow. But I wasn't going to kneel. Silence. Peppermint. Tini. Chu leaned back. There will be an inquiry. There always is. I know. You'll speak only to counsel and to me. Yes, ma'am. And Mira. She looked up. Chu's mouth twitched. Not a smile. A micro-expression that said I saw everything. You didn't break the regiment. You just proved it could bend. Mira stared at the carpet for a second, so her eyes wouldn't betray her. Ma'am, with respect, bending hurts too. It does, Chu said. But breaking kills. Something unclenched. Not relief. Something meaner and smarter. Resolve. Chu stood. We will do this by the book. Meanwhile, you'll stand down from instruction. Mira nodded. It landed like a brick and a blessing at once. As she reached the door, Chu added, And Lieutenant, next time someone asks you to kneel, tell them your knees are on back order. Callback unlocked. Mira almost laughed. Almost. Board of Inquiry rooms are designed to make you feel like a paperwork crime already happened. There's always water you're afraid to drink and a chair that squeaks at exactly the wrong time. Kestrel's arm was in a sling. He'd come with a lawyer and an expression that wanted to file a noise complaint against gravity. Mira came with facts. And Major Chu, was your intent to injure the colonel? The chair asked. No, Mira said. My intent was to not get injured. Did you consider compliance? I considered it, she said. Then I considered the precedent of kneeling on a hot square to apologize for doing my job. Did you disrespect a superior officer? Mira took a breath. I refused an unlawful order in public. I stayed verbal until I couldn't. Kestrel bristled. Unlawful? I gave corrective training. Chu's voice found that T-steel register. Sir, requesting a subordinate kneel and apologize to preserve your authority is not corrective training. We could skip the legal tango, but here's the headline. Footage from the drone didn't lie. Neither did 600 witnesses, especially the ones who wish they could. The board recessed. Whisper storm. Paper shuffle. You ever listen to a room? Try not to have an opinion? They returned. The chair read the summary. No criminal charges. Administrative review for both parties. Training plan to be evaluated by external assessors. Kestrel's jaw worked like it wanted to chew the table. Mira let out the breath she'd been holding since the sun moved behind that cloud. Was it over? Huh. Cute. That was just the intermission. 2 weeks later, the square felt different. Not new, just less haunted. External assessors ran Mira's drills. They crunched numbers. They frowned at clipboards. They did the thing where they don't make eye contact until they're ready to say the thing that matters. Injuries dropped. Retention ticked up. Times improved. Turns out respect and results actually like each other. Who knew? We knew. Kestrel took a leave. Rumors said family emergency. Reality said consequences. I'm not cheering. I'm just not pretending cause and effect don't flirt. Mira went back to instructing, quieter than before. Not shy. Focused. She learned the loudest victories are the ones you don't repaint as murals. Sergeant Emery caught her after a session. Ma'am, for what it's worth, my kid's sister's shipping out next month. I'm sleeping better knowing this is the way. Mira shrugged, because compliments make warriors itchy. Tell her to tape her ankles, and ignore anyone who measures respect in decibels. Later, Chu found her on the obstacle wall, sitting like a gargoyle who'd finally gotten comfortable. You okay? Chu asked. Mira looked at the sunset. I don't like being the story. Chu nodded. Then don't be. Be the reason someone else gets a better one. There it is. The real turn. It wasn't about a takedown. It was about fixing the stage so fewer tragedies audition. And just when it felt settled, the bass PA crackled with an announcement that made Mira bark out a surprised laugh. Effective immediately, the PA said the Solano method, temporary name, don't get weird about it, is approved for training across units. Mira dropped her head into her hands and groaned. Temporary my foot. Emery yelled from across the yard. Hey, LT, want me to polish your boots till I can see the future? She shot back. Only if they smell like lemon. Callback City. Look, we love clean endings, but real life keeps a little mess on the shelves. Kestrel will tell his version. People will pick teams. Some days Mira will doubt what happened on that square. Other days she'll watch recruits breathe steadier, move cleaner, and she'll know. Respect can't be forced. It's earned, spent, re-earned. It's a muscle. You train it, or it atrophies under the weight of old habits. So what do you think? Was it defiance or survival? Both? Neither? Drop your take in the comments, and tell me where you're watching from.